cover pro basketball, college basketball, and hockey. And we'll say hello to everyone at least chatting with us so far. We welcome your comments. C-Man was here. Jay Kane's Jay Kane said, I said, Mindy, we got to go. Jay Kane is telling us. And I'm like,
I know, we're like trying to catch up over the day.
And welcome to Jay Kane. He's the man today. He's the man we're doing this show for. Appreciate you, Jay, and everyone joining us here. We'll let everybody file in, though, and talk about Tony'sPicks.com first. So Jay is the one that made me want to get the show started, Mindy, because of...
No small talk, Ramon. No small talk. We can do it on air, I guess.
Excitement yesterday. I want to go to the leaderboard, first of all, and just take a look. They're all here to see you, Mindy, because you're coming off a 17-9 day. Hey, I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to share in your winning streak here yesterday because I'm part of Morning Steam. So we were 24-13 together.
Right?
Oh, and I'm down there. I don't want to ruin your record because I finished 5-4 yesterday with a rather light card. Yesterday, I stayed away from the college ball, but anyways, college football yesterday, Mindy. My Aztecs, they put me to sleep. I got to be honest with you. I couldn't even stay up for that because of all the great games we had throughout the day. But by the time San Diego State was, they couldn't score. So defensive game put me finally to bed on the monster Saturday. So I don't know what caught your eye other than the big Michigan-Ohio State game. That's the worst I've seen Michigan play against Ohio State in a year. Sorry, guys.
Right.
So
I just looked at that USC team just running all over Notre Dame. I mean, just looking how fast they were, though. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I'm like, maybe, those, Pac-12 teams are a little bit better than, what they look because USC doesn't look that fast against, UCLA or Stanford or Cal, but they look fast against Notre Dame. I mean, maybe it was just a little bit different, size-wise or whatever. But, man, I think USC has a really good, shot here at maybe getting a chance to be in the Final Four here.
Well, I've been singing the praises of the Pac-12 this year because of the way
I'm kind of a believer now, Ramon. I'm a believer.
Oregon State doing the job against Oregon, kind of proving some of the depth of the league there as well. They got us there too. So somehow I'm talking about some losses. We were 7-4 with Team Steam yesterday. So good job, everyone. I'm talking about all of our Team Steamers in there, where most of our damage came over in the round ball yesterday. We had the Raptors. We had Cal against Clemson. I know yesterday was a Team Steam winner. So again, good day for Team Steam, but good day for you, Mindy. Let's take a look at some of the damage that you did over there. And not to mention, I mean, you're on top of all the leaderboards right now. If you take a look, I mean, for the day, for the week, up almost 1,300, and for the month, you're on top of the standings as well. So everyone's here to hear your calls today on this card. But what went on for you yesterday, and what do you got today?
Yeah, so I went off to a really nice start in college basketball, went 5-0 with my first 5 plays there. So it was off to a really good day. So most of my damage there was in college basketball, was also ahead of the game in the NHL, and then also in college football. So unfortunately, I went against your Aztecs. I had Air Force and got a win with that one. And then I was opposite too on that Iowa State TCU. I took the over, got cash on that one there as well. So I actually swept in my college football. So had a nice day there. But it was, but it was a little bit worried. So I only put out 3 plays there as well.
11-6 in college hoop, 3-1 in college football.
Maybe I lost one in college football. Okay. 3-1. Oh yeah, I had Liberty under, and for whatever reason, that one went way over.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't mean to call you. I just clicked on it.
No, that's okay. But, it's one of those it's hard because I went through this morning.
Big volume.
But after Liberty, I swept the others. That's what I was thinking.
Big volume Mindy yesterday, and we did come through, I think, right with the UCI New Mexico State game over on our show, and I also had correct calls on the totals: Iowa and TCU, Nichols and USD
Yeah.
games as well. So today, Mindy, you're ready to go. Why not? Fire away with Mindy Hahn today, folks. Look, I'm here to do the commercial, Mindy. You can take over if you want, but Mindy,
Yeah,
with
so I
this
put up
record,
yeah, so I don't have a real big card today here thus far. So do have a 5-pack in college basketball to start the day off. That gets you to like about 3-4 o'clock. And then just have, just a kind of spattering of plays here and there in the NFL. It's kind of a weird day for me. There's a lot that I like, but again, I just kind of have leans on them. So I have 5 that I really felt pretty good about. We'll be in on 4 plays in the NBA. I didn't get those in yet. And then nothing in the NHL, I don't think, for me today. We'll have some free plays and we'll see what we can come up with there. Or maybe I might have an over under in there somewhere.
okay, well, that sounds good because don't forget, with Team Steam, certainly
Here
doing
we
pretty
are, right
well
at the
in
top.
some of the sports, and this is our day as far as the NFL. Now, it's going to be interesting to see, Mindy, because we've been making our early card calls. I haven't broken it down that far. I'm sure Tony's got some plan to put the early games and the late game. That's probably taking a little too far, but Tony's got some cool things planned for the breakdowns of how we do. But we do know Team Steam that Mindy NFL is one of our best right now. College basketball is by far our best. Look at that,
Right.
almost 60, over 65% so far. 23-12 we are. Can't wait because we're previewing 5 great games. I just want to mention right now. Yesterday we kind of here's some games. Today we got some blockbuster tilts in college basketball. I mean, a lot of people are kind of complaining. I don't know, complaining, but not thrilled with the NFL schedule day. I love the card, but and I hard to press to say things like that. But if you like college basketball, you'll be probably tuning back and forth or multiple screening because there are some great games, and some of them are late, so you won't have to worry too much about that. But 23-12 so far, and our 36-28 in the NFL, Mindy. So we'll be ready to go with Team Steam here too, and get rolling with the show and make our picks. But I just want to also show my right now. My plays are up for the NFL. That's what I got right now,
Okay.
and it's going to be. And I'm number 2 here on the NFL. On the site, and I've got a 7-pack. I've got every game, either side or total on the early games. I'm going to come in with a late pick game, probably a 3-pack on the late. I'm going heavy NFL. Don't know if I'm going to get to anything else. Yeah, I probably will, but NFL for me right now is where I like the card. We're going to talk about it top of the show here, but head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all of our premium pick packages, including our late Steam, Team Steam picks. That if you missed a show, you can get them at Tony's Picks. Make sure you use the promo code. That's right.
Self-serving commercial. Well, I mean,
5 minutes longer thanks to Dave, right? That's right. Well, that's what we're here to do. That's what they, I'm not saying they make us do it. We do it kind of voluntarily, but we love giving our free picks, but we do need people to go on over to Tony'sPicks.com.
Yeah, I mean, we are handicappers for a living, so we do like to make money, just like you guys do at your job. So, yeah, we promote ourselves, a little bit. It's part of the deal.
I'm a tout on YouTube, and this is how you buy my picks. You buy them at Tony'sPicks.com, but use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% because you're watching this, and well, it's obviously working. So Mindy and I are satisfied. We're going to keep coming back and do this free show because enough people are interested in our picks over there. So, and again.
Yeah, it might be that you just come in, 10 minutes late, and then you could pass through all this and just get.
Oh, that's true too. But again, the reason why it is a couple minutes longer today is because of Mindy Hahn, folks. I mean, I got to be honest with you. 17-9 yesterday, on top of leaderboard, plus 700 units, 20 games over 500 for the week, and I'm right there. But how apropos is this? chart right here. Just spend one more minute on it for Dave. Mindy, Ramon, Tony, 1, 2, 3 for the week. Good job, Tony, right there. Clicking in at 60% this week, actually really destroying Mindy and I percentage-wise. So no qualms there. Tony, Tony getting it done the way Tony gets it done. And quite frankly, it's a better percentage than Mindy and I are producing right there. But nonetheless, there are two ways, more than two ways in this business to get to where we need to be. So hopefully you get on board with all of us, maybe get a couple of two for one capper promotions or something like that. Okay, I've had enough fun.
Ready?
Now that Dave made me do longer promo because of that, but we got so many games to preview, Minnie, we can't really screw around too much on that. But I'm serious. I mean, 17-9, you're obviously seeing the board well. And I want to do this NFL with you. Again, we're going to go through all the Sunday games because of the holiday schedule. Just like anything, you talk about work, we come back from holiday, there's a little more work for us to do. So hopefully we'll get these done quickly so we get them up.
We're getting through about 31 games, I think, today, if I counted correctly. So we do have lots to go here.
Yep. Okay, let's get on with it. Hello to Blake also. Said Vandy looked awful yesterday. That I guess I had that call kind of right. I mean, I said Tennessee looked probably to roll them in that spot. So, all right, these are going to be all the NFL games. And I don't know, like I said, Mindy, some people said this NFL card doesn't look too great now. Maybe because we did have 3 pretty marquee games. Even with Detroit in there, they proved, to be an exciting matchup as well. So those 3 games were not wasted on Thursday, gave us great entertainment. But we do have this NFL card now for today, starting with the Ravens and the Jaguars. Looks like Lamar is in, and that's good news, but not an easy game.
No, I mean, because if I look at, like a 5-week window here in the NFL, home covers here on any moves, off a spread that goes smaller is actually 6-0. So it's pretty crazy here if I see that, I mean, I'm kind of surprised myself, right? So the Jaguars here, they're ranked 8th in, total yards and gaining 373 yards here per game offensively, similar to where Baltimore is. But again, it's like this home team is 8-2-1 against the spread in their last 7 between these two. Underdogs 5-1 against the spread the last 6 meetings with the Ravens. I'm going to go with the Jaguars here at plus 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, Mindy, remember, the Jaguars, I mean, the Ravens keep getting off to these big leads, right? And everybody's making fun of how the Ravens really can't hang on. Well, Jaguars, they might have the team that, sets up right in that mold of being able to kind of come back. Maybe Baltimore gets off to an early lead. Look, Jacksonville has the front 4 to, I think, contain Lamar Jackson. They have a terrific front 4. They're probably maybe one of the best in the league. Jacksonville also coming off a bye. I totally like that also for the Jaguars. And Lamar's not fully healthy. I think we had an injury designation for him pretty much all week, right? So Jaguars run the ball well. Etienne is hot. This is the Etienne we knew we would see one day from him. That's what made his injury so tragic, to get his start delayed kind of by a year. But right now, he's in peak form. Now, it's tough to back Jacksonville. If you start looking at trends on how Jacksonville does against the spread, not good. But I'm with you, Mindy. We're taking Jacksonville in this one. This is the spot. This is even the spot for an upset. I'm sure of it with this team. I mean, again, so hard to say you're taking Jack when you think of all their poor spread records. I mean, really dismal. And Lamar, they cover numbers really, but again, they keep blowing these big leads. I can't help but think getting a field goal and a hook is going to be enough here today. So, all right, Olecki's in here. Looks like it's going to be a tie in this Belgium. So, hey, you guys can still probably get on Belgium. Remember, that's my futures pick in the World Cup right now. I don't mean to mix it in here, Mindy, on our preview of this game, but I think anything after this game at 15-1 or better, Belgium is the team to look at to win the World Cup. Okay, Broncos and the Panthers, Mindy, in this one. This is they're talking about it. I was trying to do some. I don't need to do the research. I mean, people are out there talking about it. I'm not going to uncover anything that makes them wrong. But this is like the lowest total in several years in the NFL with this one. I mean, yes, Denver has total. Defense is great. And that's what all they're relying on right now. But is it enough here? We know there's a quarterback change with Darnold in there for Carolina now. So what do you think on this?
Well, it's one of those things with this number at 36. There's like really very few events like you had talked about. So there really isn't much for me, to gain from that. An open at 36, at a state at 36. No trends on that. I think this one's a little bit, tough here, but, it's going to be interesting here to see what's going to happen with, this Panthers team that's had, 4 games with different quarterbacks, and then the Broncos only averaging 14 points a game here. I'm just going to take a look at the Panthers. They're 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 here. Overall, they're at home. I kind of like where they've been trending a little bit. I'll take the Panthers here in this one.
All right, Mindy's going to be on those Carolina Panthers in this one. Another one where if you're looking at the trends, and I like to look at those trends, Mindy, you know that, and it's so hard to back Carolina, but it just seems like the right spot for them right now because, Denver, they certainly are not getting anything done offensively. They're wasting this, a generational defense right now. It looks like to me with 6 straight unders, under in 9 of the last 10. In fact, 6-21 to the under over their last 27 games. But teams that are going into their bye, like Carolina is, they're 17-5 against the spread. So that's a pretty interesting number there. This one, is almost a toss-up as far as the game is concerned. But look, I'm talking about all these trends, but when I see a 36 up there, team of the quarterback change coming in, I'm going to go over. I just can't fathom any NFL game. Look, I know we saw 3-3, but again, that was affected by weather conditions and things like that. So I think when everyone's expecting the worst, I'm going to be on the other side. I'm going over in this one with Denver and Carolina.
Gotcha.
All right. I'd like to welcome in the chat also joining us, Oleki with his comments. He was asking about our stats, I think. And if you rewinded, Oleki, we show our website. He's asking in Russian, so I don't know if I can give him too much information. But on the beginning of the show, we showed some of our records right on the screen and talked about our website, Tony'sPicks.com, where you can find our records over there of our premium picks. Here there's not a lot of time for accounting here. We got a guy who does that, but he's not here lately. We're just doing too much winning. He only comes around when we lose. If this guy, the other, and also, so Scott said he also can back me on that over. There's nothing I can tell you trend wise with that game, Mindy, other than the fact that this is an NFL football game, and I really just need 5 touchdowns or so. It's not like we're dealing. Yes, Darnold is going to be in there for Baker, right? I mean, but still getting Russell Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Last I checked, I mean, yes, he's terrible. We get that, but it's not like quarterbacks are being forced in due to injury. Darnold's coming in there, he's been in practice all week, replacing Baker here. Maybe he'll be fine. He's terrible against the spread. I'll tell you that. All right. Falcons and Commanders in this one. And, well, a little bit of 2 surprising teams. The Falcons are actually headed the wrong way, actually, of late, Mindy. Everybody kind of remembers their hot start. That's not the case lately. The Commanders, meanwhile, they're a team that you can really kind of get behind right now with some momentum.
Yeah, this one here, based off of a -3 to a -4. I mean, like it's a 50-50 result when something moves to a larger spread. And these Falcons, they sometimes worry me a little bit, but I don't know, maybe I shouldn't because maybe that's how they're trending. But God, they get in the red zone so much and just aren't able to convert. It's one of those, if they can convert like even half of those red zones that they've kicked field goals on, they'd be a much better against the spread team here. But the Commanders have won 4 out of their last 5, giving up a respectable 17 points a game in the last 3. Again, Falcons are giving up, 23 there. I take a look at this. Commanders 5-0 against the spread in their last 6 games overall, 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 in November. I kind of feel like at this point, how can I not take the hot hand here with the Commanders at -4?
Well, they better get ready at the pizza shop right now, as Mindy says. Go with Washington in this one. Yeah, like I said, the Falcons are fading. Remember, you talked about their decline of, like, remember they were a hot undefeated spread team to start the season, and then all of a sudden nothing. I just don't know if I can get behind Washington with you, Minnie. I'm going to take Atlanta in this one. Look, they do
I
need
don't
to get.
disagree, right? I mean, like I said, that they're one of those that, like, that Falcons team can tip the scales in so many ways. And again, is it I mean, sorry that I am interrupting you and
No,
during this
no,
part
I
here.
no. Again, I
You
mean,
know,
I have a premium in the game on the total, certainly.
gotcha.
But again, if I've got Patterson, you talk about the end zone woes. He is finding the end zone a little bit. Remember, he did miss some time as
Agree.
well. But again, the Falcons are fading. There's no doubt about it. They were hot against the spread. Now they're not. They still, because of the flexibility of Mariota, they're showing a little bit of offense. Washington's been real great. I mean, we already said we got Heineke's our guy. If he's in there, we trust them more. They seem to be finding offensive players like Robinson, and they're playing better as well on offense. So I just don't want to lay any points with them. I think I don't think these teams are still they're not great. They're not good.
Mhm.
And I'm willing to take 4. I prefer 4.5. I'll take 4. We're against each other in this one. Mindy's on Washington.
Challenge.
Good to see Matt stopping by today. All right, Buccaneers and Browns in this one. And hey, are we ready for Watson to come to the lineup soon? I don't know why you'd do something like that when you have what looks to be a top 5 offense in the league.
Yeah. Like I don't get it either. Like I just wouldn't do it right now. I wouldn't make that change. Browns are putting up 24 points a game. Buccaneers, we know that they've been having a little bit of trouble on offense. Maybe they show some sparks of life there. Only 18 points a game. Browns are ranked 4th in yards per game here. Also have the advantage, I think, on the ground game. 5th. We know Fournette's out here as well. I think they're going to run consistently. I think they're going to control the clock here. I'm going to go ahead and take the Browns and the plus points here today.
We're on the Browns on this one. I mean, probably could take them on the money line and feel comfortable, I would think. Like I said, I think they do have, that top 5 offense. Brissett knows how to run the show. They run the ball well. Cooper continues to amaze. They've been looking good in both the passing game and the running game. Look, Tom may continue to find his form. There's nothing wrong statistically with the Bucs defense, other than they kind of give up some points now and then, which is kind of a worry, right? I mean, you can have all the metrics in the world, but the score is what eventually decides it. So I like Cleveland in this one. Cleveland also tops in the league, Mindy. Going over the total 7-3 to the over. There's a couple other 7-3s out there, but in the NFL where the unders are still king, even though last week, a rare week, I think there was one more over than under, if I'm not mistaken, or at least was close. Cleveland has a tendency to go over. Maybe some windy conditions can play a role in that one, but at 42, I'm willing to go. No, I'm in Cleveland. Did I say?
We're taking a consensus play on the Browns here on this one.
There we are, absolutely.
And then there's a heavy lean via Ramon.
Get me out
on
of
the
that
total.
segment there. Like I said, I do have premium plays on all 7 games. First time all season. I think I'm known. Mindy's known for volume. I'm known for volume.
Right.
But again, first time I'm coming in every game on the early card. So,
Nice.
yeah, Jose, we've seen you. Jose, we've seen you.
Yeah, thanks for showing up, you guys. We appreciate it.
On a Sunday, Bengals and Titans. Boy, this is if anybody doesn't like the card, that maybe it's because they see Bengals and Titans doesn't stand up. I'm like, here you go. This is a marquee matchup. Bengals and Titans. This is, I don't know. Maybe it's the matchup of the day. I don't think Green Bay is, right? Because, Green Bay's been terrible, and I don't think the Rams and the Chiefs are, because the Rams are terrible. Those would have been the big games. But here might be the biggest game.
What you got for a total, Ramon? What you got for a total?
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Mindy.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Titans defense, though, they only allow 13 points a game over their last 5. I mean, they're just playing tremendous here on defense. Bengals 3-3 on the road, allowing 23 points a game. We know that with Chase out, these, they tend to struggle. I know they had the one good game without him that, Boyd had a nice game to fill in. But the other games when Chase is out, they really have a hard time producing any offense. And I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure if P. Ryan's still in there or not, or if Mixon's back.
Looks like Mixon's out of this one, Mindy.
Is he out still? Okay. So it's one of those two that, I'm not so sure they can produce the kind of offense, those 35 points that those Bengals like to put up here, in this game. I'm going to take the Titans. They're 8-0 against the spread in their last 8 overall. Underdog also 5-1. The spread the last 6 with the Bengals. So I'm going to take the Titans. Little bit of plus points here in this one, 1.5.
All right. Mindy's going to take the Titans. Jose coming in with a prop.
I like it.
Henry.
I mean, Henry's what they got. They're going to push Henry.
Anytime touchdown in this one. So Mindy's on Tennessee. For me, Mindy, look, Cincinnati is going to have to find some other ways. And so will the offense be limited against what is the best? I don't know. If you're a gambler, Tennessee is the best team in the NFL, right? I mean, they're the one making the money. 8 straight spread wins. Also, Mindy, under Vrabel with extended rest, I'm not just talking about a bye. A bye does count, but off of 10 days or more, meaning if you played a Thursday the previous week, or 10 days or 9-0 straight up and against the spread for Vrabel so far with Tennessee in that role, and also Vrabel 24-14 against the spread as a dog. I think it says Bengals favored there by 1.5. I'm showing 1 at a lot of places now, so a lot of people throw out spread records when it comes to pick'em games. History will not; they will still be reflected as such. But I don't care if I'm looking at straight up. I want Tennessee in this one. They're the team that I don't know. They're still not getting the respect they deserve, I would guess. I think that's evident with 8 straight spread wins. And the way they're doing it as well. I mean, make fun of Tannehill all you want.
We're always gonna.
But I mean, when it comes to efficiency, there other guys are doing it in different ways. Your MVP candidate, he's a different style of quarterback, right? With a little more gamble in him, maybe more gamble. Hey, no gamble, no future, right? But
right.
Mahomes is a different player. So if you, like I said, there's only a few guys in the league right now playing sufficient quarterback. You got to include Tannehill as one of the top guys in the league, just because of his efficiency, the winning percentage, all the things that matter when it comes to being a winning quarterback. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're throwing for 167 yards a game or whatever, if you have a big winning streak. So
right.
Anyway, Mindy, not to belabor the point, I'm going to be on the under in this game. I think Tennessee dictates the pace. Bengals are knocked down a little bit on offense going to this one. It's going to be tough for Joey B here, I think. Bengals have been looking great. They've totally fixed the season. Anybody who thought, because they got off to a poor start and are thinking about that poor start, That's long gone. Bengals are playing just as well as a lot of the teams. They're a contender with your Chiefs, with these Titans in the AFC. But right here, I like the under in this game. Indy says take Tennessee. And 43 is the total, Olecki, and I'm going to say go under that total. I don't know. I feel like I'm in the minority there going against. I think the tickets are saying over, but I'm on the under in this one with these two teams. All right, Dave. Yeah, we'll get to that Rams game in just a few moments, and let's take a look at this one—a lopsided game, Mindy, with Houston and Miami. Big move too on Miami in this one. I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's much difference between Kyle Allen and Davis Mills, even though I always like to talk up Davis Mills. I don't think he underachieved as much as he didn't overachieve. He was just bad. I mean, I just said, hey, he's in there. But Kyle Allen in there in this one. But 2 touchdowns, big spread.
Yeah, I mean, there's one of those that there's not many, events of this occurring here, where we've had, this spread move, right? So we've gone from -9.5 to -14. But whenever that has moved to a larger total in the past, that road cover has occurred 13 of 16 times. We've never had one this big, right? But if you look to how a total has moved, we've had a road cover. Dolphins here also been giving up lots of points here on defense as of late. Texans have played teams close on the road. They've been within 8 points in 4 out of their last 5 games here. Texans 3-1-1 against the spread their last 5 here. I think that I'll take the Texans in this one, getting the big plus points.
Well, this seems like I don't know if it's a team Steam play, but it's a team Ramon and Mindy play for sure. I mean, how can we not be on the Texans here with 2 touchdowns? I mean, yeah, double-digit favorites in the NFL start great, especially double-digit favorites that are probably allowing, what'd you say, 23, 24 points per game, Mindy, right now?
23, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they've had those incredible, back and forth games. I don't think this is going to be one of them because the Texans don't play that game. Right. So the Texans are going to need to bring the defense here and try to control the ball with Kyle Allen. But again, when Miami, we think of Hill, we think of the big plays, but it's only 1 or 2 big plays they're just so spectacular. And it just seems like they always
it outweighs all the rest. Yeah.
And Tua, look, big fun of him. He does throw a great ball anytime. The lefties, they always look so smooth, right? I mean, of all the lefties forever. And he throws a good. So when we see that play, we're enamored with it. And he's great. I mean, Tua's he's everything. I don't know what people wanted from him, but we're definitely getting it. I mean, he's been terrific, but 2 touchdowns. No, I'm not about that. I'm not about to get involved with laying that. We're taking it with the Houston Texans. They can run with their running game a little bit,
right.
I would think here, and I don't think they'll be like I said, I don't think they can trade with Miami and they're not interested in doing so. Those games that Miami were involved in, those were against teams that you would think would be in wild and crazy shootouts. So love the long-term trends, getting those points in the NFL, those big line moves, especially, Mindy. Yeah, I mean, the send-out line, 9.5, whatever it was. Now you're
9.5 to 14. It's never been to 14. Like, this is the highest it's ever been in the last 10 years that I've been keeping stats. But yeah, I mean, road covers 13 of 16 times in 10 years. That's pretty good.
All right, one more on the early card. And we did have some late, I don't know if it was late breaking news. I mean, we definitely knew that Justin Fields was going to be a big question mark to play this game. And apparently still going to try to warm up. I mean, they're not giving him much of a chance of being able to compete in this game, but they're going to allow him the opportunity to warm up, maybe even undergo examination to see if he can play. Sounds like he wants to play, but it sounds like 95% he's out. And, of course, Mike White taking over. I feel bad for the rookie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, the wind played havoc last week. And Wilson, to me, he does show promise. I don't think he's in the I don't think they're giving him much of a chance to do what he can. And now all of a sudden to bench him for White, I have no problem because I think White right now is probably better than Wilson. Okay, I mean we saw White get in there before and do a pretty good job, but you're going with Wilson because he's your quarterback of the future and whatnot. So, but for me, White is fine for this game, but I don't think Wilson. If they kick him to the curb, somebody's. They're not going to yet, obviously, with the money, but I wouldn't give up on Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears here, lost another close one last week to the Falcons. And like you said, Jets, didn't score a touchdown. But again, I think that was definitely an anomaly. The Jets are making that change at quarterback. He actually, though, hasn't done well against the spread. I think we've all seen that roll across the crawl on ESPN, right? But the Jets have only scored 13 points a game. Whenever he was, at quarterback there. So I'm going to take a look at the under. It's 5-0 in the Jets' last 5 here overall as well. I'll go under that 38.5, Ramon.
Yeah, I mean, it's a deep dropper. And the thing is, are we going to see more windy conditions in this stadium that's going to, prevent a guy like Trevor Siemian from doing anything with Chicago? I mean, he's going to be, I would think, having a rough time in this one against the Jets right now. But we just saw that 3-all game forever in a windy game. Granted, it was a more adverse conditions than just some wind, but wind is what affects the game the most, I would think. So I don't know. That's kind of the way I'm seeing it too, Mindy. I think it's going to be real hard for these teams to score again. It just feels like we're heading for another day in the doldrums of scoring land with the Jets. The Jets should take care of this game. I mean, especially with the situation with no Justin Fields, because I mean Justin Fields has been everything to Chicago. The Chicago defense has been bad. This ain't the Chicago defense from before. Granted they traded guys. They thought they were revamping it a little bit, but right now it's not working out defensively for Chicago. Fields has kind of like been the miracle man to keep them afloat, even though a lot of people make fun of him. It was really because he was running for his life half the time. He was still able to get off his passes. Now that he can buy just a little bit of time, he's looked great. It's just too bad he's not in there in this one, and it's a big drop off right now to Trevor Siemian going up against the Jets. I would think here. I think the Jets probably can dictate the pace again. Hopefully they can score, but let's go under in this one, Mindy. Give us another play there. Under 38.5, probably even lower now. 38 just to the under. We'll probably find 38 in the back end, but
okay.
All right. Well, Oakley, man, you were so good to it. You had some nice comments, but man, I'm actually going to say that is actually, I'm going to say over the top. Yeah, that's a little bit over the top, brother. Sorry to have to leave you, but man, you had some good comments too. But that was just a little bit too much in the politics realm there. I wouldn't even mind, if you want to go Russia's fine, but I don't think promoting a war that 99% of the world is against is allowed in our chat. All right. Scotch says he likes the under in the game with both backups playing, lots of rushing and field goals. Mindy, those field goals last week were taking left turns.
Right.
And amazing. Some of the kickers lately, I mean, especially at these wind conditions, they are really good, man. I mean, don't you wonder sometimes when a guy misses and you're like, if they could just figure out the wind and curve it in? Well, there's a few guys that got it down pretty good. So those guys that are missing are not the kickers you want. It's the guy that's willing. Look, if a guy pushes it and it like curves and it still goes outside, but he put the right curve on it, you're like, all right, I'll give you that. At least you knew what you were doing. But when you kick it straight in and it goes way to the left, no.
Yeah.
If it's, if you kick it way to the right and it curves in and it still doesn't go in off to the right, you're like, you put the curve on it, the wind took it, he just didn't get it in. I'm like, you know what? At least that guy, knew what he was doing. He just maybe the wind change or whatever. Right. But when they kick it straight on and it just like, All right, those will look at the early games and let's get into the late games. right now. All right, Raiders and Seahawks. Uh, oh boy. Vladimir Putin once scored 10 goals in a game. Okay, Las
I heard
Vegas.
that.
Yeah, Las Vegas and Seattle. Seattle favored in this one uh, by 4, and total 48 right now. And Mindy, I said that even Mark Davis couldn't screw this up with the Raiders, but you know what? He's found a way.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of funny, isn't it? Raiders scoring 15 points a game. I mean, that's kind of not the Raiders that we're used to watching. They're usually more like we score, 35 points a game. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the under in this game. Seahawks have not been producing, quite as much as they had, say, the first 5 games of the season. Under 7-2 in the Raiders last 9 here, 7-1 the Seahawks last games in November. I'm going to go under the total here today, Ramon.
I'm going to join Mindy on going under the total in this one. Look, Seattle, what can you say? They're a good team. Off the
I
bye,
like them.
I think that'll help them as well. Las Vegas, I think they're falling apart for whatever. Like I said, I thought the move to Vegas would be great for the Raiders, and maybe it is, but they seem to be inept from the top down right now. And now they're talking about, you know what, they're going to move on from Derek Carr. Well, but Derek Carr, he's going to attract a little attention from other teams.
I
I
would
think
say
that's
definitely,
the thing.
right?
I mean, maybe he's borderline in our group of 10 quarterbacks. Most people, I don't know, I think most people might include him in those capable quarterbacks. We rarely see him inept. We just see him more mistake prone. I think he has the ability to do it. Just the decision making sometimes maybe isn't there and whatnot. So I don't know. For me, I think Seattle dictates it. I think it goes under in this one. Maybe Seattle's defense. We've seen pretty big improvement, I would say, of late from Seattle's defense. And question whether 48 points. This is a lot of points. I think for a matchup like this considering what these teams are doing right now. I'm going to go with you and go the under in this one for another consensus play
Consensus
here.
play.
Oh, what we did on those early games, 4 of them, so we're up to 5 now. And now my Chargers are going to take on the Cardinals, and they're down to a 2.5-point favorite, total 49. This market reacting probably to the announcement that Kyler Murray, he's going to play. That's pretty good news. He's kind of on our list. I don't know. He's borderline up there with being able to play quarterback pretty well. Maybe his team just isn't that great. I don't
Well, they've been,
point fingers either way.
a lot more great with Hopkins around, but the Chargers are also getting healthier at wide receiver, and we know that helps them, a ton. Chargers 5-1 against the spread the last 6 versus, after a straight up loss here. I think I like the Chargers here in this spot by a field goal. I think they're playing well.
Okay. Well, you're on your own there, you and Tony, I think. Look, I can't. Chargers as a dog, I'm all about it. Chargers are a favorite. I'm not about it. But with Murray coming back, I like. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go with the under in this game. I'm thinking Arizona's the call, but I don't know. For me, Cardinals can play a little bit of defense here. I think against the Chargers. I don't think they're up capability wise to trading with them, and they are only getting 2.5 points here. So I think it's going to be a lower scoring game in this one. Arizona, they're off a big blowout in that game in Mexico City. That usually bodes pretty well for teams that come back the next time and they're an underdog. So that's kind of why I don't know, long term league wide trend. But for me, Chargers are off like all their games. I mean, it's been like a month and a half straight of wild games for the Chargers, and I don't think we're going to get that here. Also, my thing with road favorites and those games going under, well, that trend is extended now, Mindy, to 21-45 this season. Games involving road favorites, 21 overs, 45 unders. I've got the under in this one with the Chargers and Arizona. Mindy says take the Chargers.
Yeah, that
So,
Cardinals running game is just lacking,
oh,
and
for
that's
sure.
always something that kind of concerns me with them.
Yeah, I just don't trust the Chargers.
Your team, yeah.
Coming from a Chargers fan, right? Scotch those on it with you. All right. Let's move to this was supposed to be like this was the marquee matchup of the season heading into
Oh,
the
is it?
season, and something's happened along the way. Somebody commented about Stafford inactive for the rest of the season, and yeah, the Rams, all sorts of issues. Obviously, right now, who was it? It was Dave with his comment there. But so I guess Perkins is going to be in there at quarterback, right? So we've seen just a massive move here. Chiefs aren't a great double-digit favorite, but they're a runaway favorite at this point.
Yeah, and again, this is one that we've never had in the NFL. In the last 10 years, a -10 to a -15.5. So there is no real trends, on this one. Both defenses giving up about 20 points a game here. Chiefs, we know, number one in scoring right now, but the defense has always been a little bit lacking, and that's kind of always been my, concern here. It's kind of one of those things like, you know, the Chiefs are my team as well. But I just kind of feel like this one here is not going to be in the Chiefs' favor for covering. I'm going to go ahead and take the Rams here to cover the 15.5.
All right, Mindy's going to be on the Rams. Yeah, the Chiefs. What they do, they lack the killer instinct or whatever. Hey, this is a lot of points, right? I mean, that's the
Yeah.
thing. I'll be on it with you, Mindy. We'll take 15 points with the Rams. They know what to do in this one. I would think try to stay competitive and stay close. But the Chiefs, it just seems like
Seems
they
like
just
sometimes they just kind of mess around in these games.
they give it up, right? I mean, they're up,
Like
right?
you said,
It's like
maybe that's what you would say is not the killer instinct,
yeah,
right?
they're up like 28-10, and then 3 and out or whatever, and something happens. And so they just don't, to me, seem like the team that is going to be covering more than 2 touchdowns in a game, and that's what Scotch says as well. Says take the Rams in this one. So we'll be on it, Mindy. Let's take
All right.
another consensus premium with the Rams in this one. I think the total actually looks a little low. I know it's a Rams question mark with the offense right now without Cup, Stafford, whatever. But again, it just kind of lends to what I'm saying about the Chiefs in general, right? I mean, they just say like, we'll just score another touchdown and you guys can come back and do whatever you want because we're not, So I don't know. Latifa says they're always crushing the spread. Maybe she's saying Ram. I don't know. So, anyways, Mindy, so we're on a consensus play there, and let's move on with the Saints and the 49ers. How about this one? Another increased spread here. 49ers up to 9.5 or so. The total 43.5.
Yeah, again, very few events at this number, -8 to -9.5. No trends there. 49ers defense giving up 13 points a game here over the last 3, scoring 30. I mean, really putting up some points here. Saints are giving up 22 here as well. They've been able to score some points. But I think, the 49ers, I think they're going to go ahead and cover this 9.5 here today.
Oh boy. Okay, well, maybe they will. I don't know if they're a team to cover that many points. I don't know if any team in the NFL is going to cover that many points. So I'm
Unless
going
they
to
were
look.
last week versus the
Yeah, well,
Cardinals.
sure. I'm probably going to look at the under in this one. I think the Niners, they don't have the necessary look. We love our guy. He kind of makes big plays, but the Saints, for whatever reason, they're kind of, not getting it done necessarily offensively. I think that's what kind of you're looking at here. And favorites right now of 7 points or more this season in the NFL. 13, 23, and 1 against the spread. So that's just more about what we're talking about with, laying those big points. I mean, I know we took the Rams. I know you're laying the points here. Probably just why I'm not going to be getting involved with you there with the 49ers. But I like the under in this one, and I think that's why I kind of also favor the Saints here. There's
You
no
like the Saints though this season. I know that.
well. I think everybody wanted to cast them aside a little, and yeah, I mean it hasn't been a great situation certainly for them, but
But the Saints have covered,
I
quite
like
a few.
Olave. I like Olave a lot, and yeah, they haven't been. They've had their moments, and in this one, I expect them to be able to compete and keep within the number. But I'm going to go under in this one with New Orleans and San Francisco. So, all right, one more to look at. Now, here's a guy that I don't know. You can compare the two or whatever, but something's wrong with Aaron Rodgers. He's got a broken thumb. Okay, I heard he's got a broken thumb, so there's an excuse for everything. I guess maybe he'll be the next Raiders quarterback.
That's right. I played my senior year with a broken thumb. It sucks. Just gonna say, I'm a glove hand though, so it wasn't quite as bad. But there really isn't a whole lot here with this, move on this window, 44.5 to 46.5. So that move up to a larger total here in this one. But kind of the way I look at it is, Packers are having trouble not being able, to score much. Eagles aren't allowing very much here either. I'm going to take a look at the unders 4-1 Packers last 5 road games, unders 8-2 in the last 10 between these two teams, unders 5-0 in the last 5 in Philadelphia. I'm going to go under, Ramon.
Yeah, and there's going to be wind as well in Philadelphia. That's what I like to hear when you're on an under. And Scotch says Eagles all day, give him Philly on the spread. I don't know about. I mean, Green Bay can run the football, I think, against Philly as well. We already know the troubles. I mean, look, they are 9-1. The Philly is
You
great.
have Ndamukong now. Come on, Ramon.
Well, right. I mean, they went out and got pass rushers, right? Is that what we did? So again, I mean, maybe it was addition by subtraction. We'll see, or subtraction by addition, I think is what I meant to say. But we'll see. Maybe that we did see them make some plays, and then they collide. They got the sack together.
Yeah, see, it was amazing.
And Latifa, I think, is saying under, but she also likes Philly here. I might be on the Packers, but we're in agreement on the under in this one because Latifa's on it, I'm on it, and you're on it. We're going under in the Packers and the Eagles, and that's a look at Sunday NFL with a lot of picks, including I think 6 or 7. Did we have 7? Do we have 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh my God,
Ramon, you're going to be like crazy today in every single game. Side and total. I think you can pull it off.
Ugh, that's a lot of sweat. But again, I'm part of Team Steam that just had a big winning day yesterday, and I'm teaming up with a hot handicapper that just went 17-9. So that's got to boost my confidence, I would think, going in. So how do you feel about it in the chat? Let us know. You're on definitely some of the sides and totals we are. So, all right. Great job. That's a look at the NFL. We're going to go to the NBA next. We're sorry, Latifa. NHL's coming. Someone else asked for NHL. Oh, that was our guy, though, I think.
Oh, yeah. No,
that was our guy from
maybe it was
Russia. Yeah. Ukraine was a big underdog, and we took him on the money line, and it's looking pretty good.
Just saying.
All right. Go to the NBA in this one. Take a look at this card, Mindy. I think it's a pretty big card. So we'll start with the Trailblazers and the Nets.
I'm trying to find my NBA. I know it's here.
I'll get started if you want. With these two teams.
I might just have it in these papers here, or I could have put it
problem.
Here. I find it, Ramon. All right, I'm ready to go. Ready to go.
You're all organized. I've got,
hardly.
Look
at me. I have piles of paper everywhere. But yeah, I mean, Trailblazers here, 3-1 against the spread in the last 2 years. Taking the Trailblazers today, +7.
All right, good enough for me. I'm saying good enough. Portland 9-2 against the number on the road this season. Brooklyn 4-7-1 as a favorite. I think I'm going to join Mindy here. I think I'm going to take the Trailblazers right out the gate, you guys. The Scotch is on it. as
Perfect.
well. So that makes it a consensus play. No one said Brooklyn real fast.
Right.
So let's, what the heck? We're on it. We're on it right away with the first play there. No one. I don't want the Nets at home. Come on, Nets
Who
laying
does
points at
that?
home. Who wants that? Golden State. Golden State. They're on the road. They're
Oh,
favored.
geez. The
They're
road.
favored. They can't even. They're terrible on the road. Minnesota's not very good at home though.
Well, but they're 12-4 against the spread versus Golden State off for 2 or more days rest, Ramon. I'll take the Timberwolves at home. Let's do
Well,
it.
they've won the last 3 times they've played Golden State at home too. So why not? Why wouldn't they win this game? Golden State can't win the games on the road. They're proving that they can. Who can they beat? Houston?
Maybe. Oh yeah, they did they? Yeah, they did, didn't they?
I think they did. So let's take them. Let's take them. We're 2 for 2. Why not? We're coming off a good day in basketball, so let's go 2 for 2. I'm on with Mindy Hahn. The
The
Midwest Premier
Midwest
Sports
Premier Sports
Handicapper was
Handicapper.
17-9 yesterday on TonyPicks.com, and we're on whatever she says. I'm gonna follow at this point. I think we're on Minnesota though. Golden State's terrible on the road. They're showing absolutely no life. Still, when it comes on the road, you're waiting for it. You're waiting for it to turn around. You're waiting for them to turn on the switch. It's not on. It's not on at this point. Take
Yeah,
Minnesota.
because I thought that they would, do back to back, road covers, but they failed miserably. I mean, they got smoked in that game. I don't remember who they played, but it was bad.
It's been bad. I mean,
Yeah.
the Warriors are not, a championship contender because they can't win on the road. I guess they are still a championship contender. God, but not if you. Because if you don't finish first and you can't win on the road, you're probably not going to win at all. Okay, Pacers and Clippers. Well, Pacers know how to cover spreads. That's for sure.
Well, I'm going to look at the over here. It's hit in 4 of the Clippers. The Clippers Pacers last 4 games in the last 3 years. Taking a look here at the over 223.
Well, I think we're not going to have consensus here. Clippers can't go over. That's the problem with them right now. They're 2-9 to the under. I think uh, on the road. No, of late. I think of late on the season, whatever it is, but they're not producing very many overs. That's for sure. So I'm going to take actually, man. When I see this spread at 1, it does kind of concern me because the Pacers are doing a really good job getting numbers. They're 8-2 against the spread their last 10. Clippers just 4-7 against the spread at home. But man, okay, Blake. Oh, that was on a previous game. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm going to take the Clippers, Mindy, in this
All
one.
right.
I'm going to take the Clippers to win a game at home against Indiana. I love you, Indiana, making us good money, but I'm going to maybe if they were getting some points, that might be a better situation where I might consider them here. But Morocco leading 1-0. By the way, I missed my cue. It wasn't a goal, but there it is. No, that was a replay of the 2-0. Morocco won the game. Okay, I missed my cue there. Having some great time with you. Miami and Atlanta here. Atlanta is a favorite in this one. 5 to 22.5.
Yeah, this is one where it has that big, huge under trend. Unders 45 and 22 in the last 67 meetings head to head. Those crack me up. But yeah, 4-1 to the under in the Heat's last 5 road games. 10-4 to the under Hawks last 14 home games. Gonna go under in this one, Ramon.
All right, Mindy's on the under. Miami and what was that trend? What was that first trend?
45 and 22 in the last 67.
Okay. Well, I mean,
they crack me up. Those big
it's
trends.
About 10 years. It's about 10 years worth of data. I'd say right there when you're talking about 2 conference teams like that. Miami
so I had to write it down just because it's big.
Miami 2-6 to the under on the road, but they're just 2-4 as a dog and 6-13-1 against the spread overall. I think it's the spot for Atlanta for me. I'll be on Atlanta lay 5 points. Mindy says go under 222.5. I haven't even been able to call up to see if there's been movement on these totals. So please, everyone, check it out. Make sure. And so in this one now, it's Orlando -2, total 214.5.
Here it is. Yeah, 76ers, they're scoring 107 points a game in their last 3. Magic 104 over that same time span here. These teams, pretty much shoot the same kind of percentages, right? I mean, they're both at 37 from 3-point range. 76ers, they're 6-1 against the spread in the last 7. I think I'm going to go ahead and take the 76ers here and the +2 today.
Yeah, Philly's been pretty good to me of late, and they also won and covered against Orlando just a couple of days ago, 107.99, and getting a couple points here. I think Philadelphia is looking pretty good. I think they might be rounding into form a little bit here, going against because it's a pretty weak team. They still need wins. I'm going to take Philly with Mindy here. Give us a premium consensus on the road against Orlando in this one. Philly 3-7 to the under last 10, but let's take Philly.
Sounds good.
Wizards and Magic. And in this one, I'm showing the Magic are favored by 2 and the total 214.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at the over here. It's 5-1. The Celtics lack 6 home games versus a team with a winning record. Wizards, they haven't been under 100 points in their last 5. And the Celtics here are averaging 122 in their last 5. So I think they can get it done here today just by looking at the sheer, numbers these two teams put up.
Yeah, let me fix that graphic too in the intro. Sorry about the intro, Mindy, but you handled it like a real pro there. As I had the wrong team called, but just a typo really is all it was. There, the Celtics. Let me get that. So it's 7.5. I used copy and paste, obviously, from the Sixers Magic game there for some reason. 7.5. And 222.5. What did you say, Mindy, though, for the pick? I'm sorry, I was.
I like the over here.
Okay. Well, you knew the total. I mean, you knew I wasn't. You knew that was wrong. But anyways, you are getting the best of it certainly here at 222.5. It opened 224.5. And well, since I screwed up this whole segment, I'm just gonna have to agree with you. I mean, after all, New York is New York. Where am I? Okay, Boston.
Game.
Boston 7-2 to the over at home this season. Boston won 112-94 with a win and a cover. What was well under this number, but for me, I think I'd like it to go over today in this one. I'm going to agree with Mindy here with Washington and Boston to go over 222.5. Let's move on. I've just totally botched that. I hope that they clip the right graphic there. Just give them another second or so you can see. Nobody knows what I'm talking about except Mindy. Grizzlies and the Knicks. The Grizzlies are favored by 4 here. No, it's down to 2.5 actually, Mindy. It looks like the Knicks are taking money again. Knicks are getting 2.5, total 226. This total has dropped 4 points.
Well, I like the over. I mean, it's hitting 13 of the last 20 games here versus the Grizzlies since the start of the 2012 season. So it's been quite a few. In the last games for these teams, Grizzlies put up 132. Knicks scored 129. Trailblazers. Versus the Trailblazers. I think I'm going to go ahead and go over that 227. Now it's 226, like you said.
Wow. Well, it opened 231.5. So you're getting a great deal. This one's totally been steamed to the under by the Sharps, and Knicks are 6-2 to the over at home. I don't know if you remember, I said that just 30 seconds ago on the wrong game, but Memphis 1-8-1 against the spread on the road. Knicks aren't much better, 2-5-1 against the spread at home, but you see the move. Open 4 down to 2.5. I've got the Knicks in this one, Mindy, plus 2 points. I think they can win this game for sure against the Grizzlies today. Mindy says go over 226. Cavs and Pistons now in this one. I'm showing the Pistons are a 7-point dog. Total down to 218.
All right. I mean, the over, it's hit in the last 15 of 20 games here, head to head. All over trends for Cleveland, all over trends for Detroit. Detroit's been averaging, 115 plus. And it's, last 5 games here. I like this over total in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the Sharps might be thinking about here, and maybe just creating some value. Yes, I mean, I think when we perceive Cleveland, we think of them as a defensive team. Maybe Detroit lacking in some scoring right now, but I gotta agree with you here. I mean, I think the original number is just fine in this one. I mean, I was looking to go over that number. So
right.
Cleveland hasn't been, great of late. They're just 3-6-1 against the spread last 10, while Detroit 6-2-2 against the spread last 10. Detroit's been the team getting the money. This is too many points, but let's go over in this one as a premium consensus. I think this is a good spot for Detroit to have a nice night for once.
Nope.
Yeah, we got one more. The Mavs and the Bucks. And this one, the Bucks are now up to a 7-point favorite, total 215.
Well, this is the only one that hasn't really gone in my way, Ramon. Bucks been scoring 116 over their last 3. Mavs 103 in that time span. Bucks 7-2 in their last 9 home games versus a team with a losing record. I like the Bucks here to cover that 7.
Hey, Team Steam was hot yesterday. No one in the chat's saying anything, so I'm going to agree with you and to give us a 5-pack today for Team Steam. Team Steam, stop us now if you don't like this 5-pack of games, because I like Milwaukee to cover this spread today. Mindy mentioned it. Of course, Dallas has lost and failed 3 straight. They're the worst spread team in the league, certainly, I would think, right now with that 4-13-1 spread record. Milwaukee 8-4 against the spread at home. Laying a little bit of a number here, but can't be worried about that too much when you got a team that is getting far from getting numbers right now, like Dallas is, with no end in sight, covering the spread. So let's take a Mindy.
Milwaukee, there we go.
5-pack. Consensus. 5-pack in the NBA, including Portland, plus the points. I'll correct some of these because I, kind of didn't update the numbers as we were going. So we're actually going to get 8 points with Portland probably on the back end there, Mindy. Minnesota plus 1.5 against Golden State. Philadelphia plus 2 against Orlando. Cleveland and Detroit over 218, and Milwaukee minus 7.
But we also had Wizards Celtics over as well, Ramon.
Did I say 5 and I meant 6?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll figure it out.
That was just the one that you were, behind on.
That's right. Yeah. I had all kinds of scribbles on that game for sure. So, and Hamid checks in with a pick as well. He says the Bucks. He says Dallas got to get those visas out. Got to get through the border. So, all right, that's a look at pro basketball. Now we've got 5 really nice games in college basketball. Hope Latifah's still awake. We're trying to get to the hockey as soon as we can. We've got to get off the air here and get rolling for football. But let's go to college. This is some great games today. Yesterday was a joke compared to this.
Right.
Mississippi and Oklahoma. You got Mississippi 6-0, Oklahoma 5-1. They're playing this game in Florida.
So I'm going to be taking Ole Miss in this one. Mississippi has, really nice interior play. They're big. They like to rebound. I know Oklahoma has that nice, backcourt there. But, it's one of those, like, if you, don't get second chance shots, you're playing a little bit behind the 8 ball here with this one, with Mississippi shooting well over 50% right now. I like Ole Miss. I'll take them plus 2.5.
All right. Mississippi for Mindy plus 2.5. She's going to be on it. And I'll tell you what I'm going to be on is going to be on the under in this game. I just wonder how much I've missed out on points wise is what I feel like. It's down to 126. So I'm on the under. Certainly, I think in this one, first time underdog for Ole Miss this season. Oklahoma just 2-3 against the spread as a favorite. We know Ole Miss has been involved in some higher scoring games, but OU is 1-5 to the under thus far. So I don't know. I think.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about when we were a little bit late getting on the air, is these wild swings here that's been occurring in college basketball. I mean, they've been big too. I mean, sometimes I've seen over-unders change as much as like 9 points. Like, it's just been crazy.
Yeah, and I'm tracking that actually. And I think that's why you haven't seen a lot of action from me. But I'm trying to come in. I want to come in a little later. I just want to make sure all my subscribers get the plays. But right now, these big moves are not working out for maybe for the players or not. Maybe people are piling on these big movers, this big steam. But these games that are moving, if you got a total that's at 135 and it's going up to like 143, it's under. You stick
Yeah.
with that original number right now, and you're hitting about 61%. And I'm not talking about a small sample. I mean, this is happening every day on these big cards, like a dozen times or more on some of these games. If you count it 5 points or more, it's probably happening 20 times a day right now since the tournaments have started. It's like it's almost like the sharps are just pounding, and the public money is maybe insignificant to a certain extent because, I mean, we know you're playing college basketball out there, hopefully, and you're watching the show and everything, but is there enough action right now? Fading the big moves is where it's at right now by the way I'm tracking it as a market handicapper. And I kind of want to come in with some action on it because we could build up some extra winners for everyone, but they just have to be patient because these games, and we do have the feature here at Tony's Picks with the late steam,
Yeah.
where we'll come in anywhere from 10 minutes to 2 hours before a game. And, quite frankly, that's where that line move is kind of happening. It can happen anytime during the day, actually, I'm noticing. But, the more time elapses, it seems to keep steaming up or steaming down or whatever. So I don't know. Definitely like some of the guys on OU, though. For sure, Tanner Groves, elite rebounder for sure, NBA caliber rebounder. But for me, I'm going to end up taking the under, and Mindy is on Mississippi in this one. All right, here's a good game. North Carolina and Alabama, both teams are 5-1. This game's at the Portland tournament.
Yeah, I mean, both of these teams here, they're way better offensively than defensively. So, I mean, I expect a really high score here in this one. Overs 8-0 in the Tides last 8 Sunday games. Overs 4-1. North Carolina's last 6 following a straight-up loss. I like the over here.
All right. Mindy's going to be on the over North Carolina and Alabama. And I'm going to have to join her on this one. I think I agree with you with these two teams. I think we see big numbers today. North Carolina, I don't know if they're playing much defense really this year. Baycott looks great. Looks better than last year, I would think. But Alabama, I think with Miller, with Clowney, they can score here in this one. I'm going to go over with Mindy. It's a big number, but, the way we see some of these games with the good teams right now, definitely going to ride with Mindy here. Take a premium consensus play on the over North Carolina and Alabama. Going to need both teams well into the close to 80 points here.
They can do it.
All right, we're going to stick out with the tournaments in Portland at 2 locations, and this one Duke going up against Purdue. And if you don't know about Edey, well, I'm sure you.
What is he? Only 7'4"?
Right. I mean, right. I mean, everyone knows if you've seen a game, you know who I'm talking about. It just seems like he just goes right into the key and just throws the ball up, and he's 10 feet above everybody and just tosses it right in.
Yeah, but I think this one's going to be a little bit, opposite of this North Carolina Alabama game. I'm going to take the under here in this one. Under is 5-0 in the Blue Devils' last 5. Blue Devils are the one that's been ticking, a lot of their games here to the under, surprisingly. 6-1 the Blue Devils' last 7 overall here as well to the under. Under in Purdue in the last 6. I like under 154.5.
All right, Mindy says go under in this one. Let me make sure I get that right, Mindy. Do I have the right number up there?
Same or not? Let me see. What did I have?
I think 134. But I know what you meant. You were just looking on the screen.
Yes,
think
135.
I think you're yeah, it's not like you're saying, oh, 134. Oh no, I don't go. You weren't even paying attention. You just looked up and read what was on the screen, but you were
Correct.
definitely knew you were going under. It just I had the wrong information up
Correct.
there again. Too many games. I'm sorry. That's like 4
It's okay.
graphics errors so far. I'll be lucky if they
Again, it's
keep me
like
on that.
31 games. That's a bunch, Ramon, to put in there.
You know, I don't necessarily disagree with you in this one, but I like the way Purdue. I like the way Purdue's kind of been playing right now. The teams are combined 2-10 to the under right now. I mean, Purdue just throttled Gonzaga. Obviously, Gonzaga's not doing Gonzaga things right now. They've got one. We'll talk about them in a minute, but
Right.
uh, you know, I'm gonna take Purdue in this one. I think they just look great right now with the big man. Mindy says go under. I don't know. I probably should just tag along with Mindy, you guys, at this point. Why not? What am I thinking? No one said anything in the chat. I probably would have. That's tough. I know college basketball. Everybody's waiting maybe for some hockey, and these are some great matchups. I mean, I know
They
Red's
are
not
going to be
into it
good.
yet, so
Yeah, I was surprised at some of these tip-off times. I'm like, I have to wait till 10 p.m. tonight to, after the football game to
well,
watch
that's
Iowa
fine
State play.
because that Packers game might not be, and I don't know, might not be anything. I mean, this one, yeah, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Mindy, 4:30 Pacific with Xavier and Gonzaga. Both teams 4-2. Gonzaga's not zagging, and we know they got Timmy, but that seems like they got Xavier. They got a bunch of guys.
I know, isn't it crazy though to think about both of these teams are under 500 and covering the spread this season? Like it's crazy. I mean, Xavier has struggled offensively, with Duke, and then Gonzaga got beat, pretty bad, like we had, just kind of talked about there with Purdue. But I think I'm gonna go with Gonzaga here in this spot though. They have beat Xavier the last 4 or 5 times. I do like Gonzaga. I'm going to take him here.
All right. Mindy says take the Zags in this one, lay the points. I probably tend to lean towards XU here. I like Fremantle. I like Baum.
Yeah.
I like Jones. So I'm going to take the under, though, in this one with these two teams. This is kind of crazy. Gonzaga's not proving to be explosive enough right now, I would think, to get maybe 160 here. I don't think Xavier wants to play that type of game necessarily. I mean, I know, like I said, teams are combined 9-3 to the over this season. I get it, but I'm going to go under 159.5. Mindy says take the Zags, lay 7 points. All right, Iowa State going to take on UConn. Well, I guess it's over.
Central Time.
Yeah, this one's late, Mindy, but UConn, I guess, let's just crown them now. I guess they're the champs. I mean, they all of a sudden, who was sleeping on them? Everybody. I think we knew they'd be good. I don't really know they'd be this good, but are they this good? They're already up to a 5.5 point favorite here against Iowa State. I like some of the Iowa State player, but I don't think people know about Connecticut yet. Or I think some people I think they're really legit, right?
I think so, Ramon. I mean, I do. And again, we just talked about, with Iowa State there with Duke, right? I mean, so and we talked about how they've been kind of underperforming, I think, a little bit yet this year, maybe a little bit of slow starters, but yeah, UConn 6-0 against the spread this season, off to that 7-0 start, beating up their first couple opponents there by 30 points a game.
Yeah.
They had the nice wins over Oregon and Alabama,
right.
And they have that really nice defense, and I think that's what a lot of this one is gonna boil down to. But then you have Iowa State 5-0 after beating Villanova, North Carolina. UConn will have to limit their turnovers, but I think the UConn can probably get the job done here. They're 10th in points scored, 33rd in the nation in field goal percentage, 21st in assist turnover ratio. Like, I think they're the real deal, Ramon. I'll take UConn here.
No, I like what Iowa State's doing. They're someone that are going to, I think, make us some money too. I mean, I think Holmes, Osuni, right? I think they got some players, and they're obviously off to a pretty good start. I mean, both these teams are hot against the spread. So, but Sonogo, Newton, really good, man. I really think Connecticut. I just impressed. Uh, this is a tough game to cover a number here, I think, but I think Connecticut kind of maybe dictates the pace. I'm going to go with you, Mindy, on this one. I think Connecticut. I think they're going to continue to get numbers right now until people start to take note and they become overpriced. I don't think this
Right.
is overpriced just yet. I like Iowa State actually as a team.
Sure.
Just in Connecticut right now, just looks like I'm putting them up there. I don't know what they're, maybe I should pay attention more to the other analytics rather than just my own. But
I think you've done pretty well with your analytics, Ramon.
yeah, I know. But yeah, I mean, it's still, yeah.
I mean, everyone looks at different things. That's, why we do a consensus. So.
Okay. Well, we got, 2 plays in college
Yes.
ball? That'll do. 2 plays in college ball. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Figure it out because we'll move on to hockey now.
Here you go, Latifa. Hockey time.
5-game card today with some good matchups. Started off here. Is that the first game?
That is it.
Okay.
At least according to my calculations, 1 p.m.
Arizona and Minnesota in this one. And big favorite for the Wild. 255, 6.5 over 15. I'll see if that's moved, but big number here.
Wild. It's wild, I tell you. The Coyotes 8-7 on the road on the puck line. Minnesota 4-7 home on the puck line. I like these Coyotes on the puck line here today. They've been averaging 3.5 goals at least over their last 3 games, and the Wild hasn't scored much here at all. I like them today. I'll take them plus 1.5 minus about 105.
Yeah, no, I mean, people deciding like, when to take a puck line, when not to take a puck line, right? So for me, this is the spot. This is where you take a puck line. I mean, you said it. They have a good puck line?
8-7 on the road, and then Minnesota's 4-7 at home. So.
Okay, yeah, and I've got also Arizona 11-8 as a puck line dog, Minnesota 5-10 as a puck line favorite, and this one is basically a pick 'em on the puck line.
Yeah.
So Minnesota's clicking at about 33% on the puck line, and they're minus 110. Meanwhile, Arizona, definitely has positive numbers on the puck line, and they're only minus $1.10. So we're on Arizona here. On the puck line. That's the way I feel about it. Look, teams have almost identical records, right? I mean, Arizona's 7-9, Minnesota's 9-9. We've made fun of Arizona. Maybe they'll rally about this whole situation with their arena and all that. So let's take them today. All we need to do is stay within 1. Arizona puck line. Jets and the Blackhawks. In this one, I'm showing the Jets minus $1.60, 6 under 15.
Yeah, I mean, the Jets 8-2 versus Chicago on the road off a win over the last 10. Winners of the last, 3 of 5. While the Blackhawks here, losers of, I don't know, about 5 in a row here. I'll take the Jets minus 160.
All right, Mindy, you get on those Winnipeg Jets. I don't know. I don't know if I can, they're 6 and up straight up as a favorite. That's pretty interesting, actually. And they're also 0-6 to the under as a favorite. But at 6 goals, I don't know about that. I think this one, man, I like the over in this game. The way the Jets are playing right now, I think they can get to their quota of goals, whether it be 4 or 5 necessary here.
Right.
4 to 3 gets there. I want to give Chicago kind of a chance, but talk about another one of those puck line deals, right? Winnipeg, they're just 3-3 as a puck line favorite. They're not favored very often on the puck line, but they're plus 155. If you're 3-3 and you go 3-3 and you're plus 155, that seems like a profitable situation to lay a goal and a half with the Jets kind of in this one. I mean, they're a $1.60 favorite. So that seems like a pretty good play too. But I'm going to go over with Winnipeg and Chicago. And Mindy says take Winnipeg on the road here. All right, some of these teams, Mindy, should just scrap it and go be an expansion team again. I mean, you're good within a year or two. Vegas did it right out the gate. The Kraken are already, a
Doing it,
playoff
yeah.
team.
I mean, they've decided to score again, right? I mean, they had that little bit of a drought in there where they had 4 or 5 games where they couldn't score a goal, but now winners of the last 4 of 5, and the Ducks are giving up, I don't know, about 5 goals a game here. So I'm going to take the over in this, and over 7-1. The Ducks last 8 Sunday games, and those Kraken, man, they've been putting up the goals. I like it. I'll take over 6. I think each team can get this one themselves.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe
I
I'm
mean,
seeing
if
something
anything,
I'm
I mean,
not supposed to, Ramon.
say it again.
I said maybe I'm seeing something I shouldn't. I don't know. That 6 is odd to me. So, all right, continue.
Yeah, no, it's definitely 6 over. It might even be 6/15. I think you're getting actually 5 more cents off of that price. And yeah, because if anything, I kind of want to go. I wanted to go under 6.5 actually. So I don't know if I going to ride with you here necessarily on the over in this one. They're combined 16 and 25 to the under, but yeah, Seattle's hot again, 8-1-1 last 10 games. Anaheim 7-12 as a puck line dog. That's not going to get it done. Especially yeah. I'm going to go ahead and think the Kraken just stays on a roll here against Anaheim. I'm worried about Anaheim actually to a certain extent right now. I follow them pretty closely. The minor league squad is here in town.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, the San Diego Gulls
Okay.
minor league team to the Ducks. So that's a team
Hey, I found something new out about Ramon.
Right. Well, I mean, the reason I like the Kings is because when I was a kid, that was the team that was on TV. We've never had professional hockey, NHL here in this town, and only within the last decade or so has it become the minor league affiliate. We've always had minor league hockey here, but more in the uh, independent hockey leagues that don't have affiliation with the NHL. So now that they do, that's the team I end up kind of following news-wise the most. Not that I seek out the Ducks games to watch, because I watch them all equally. And the Kings still hold, like I said, because that was a team that I watched on TV as a kid, watching Bob Miller broadcast, and so that's why I like the Kings still deep down, and Montreal because they were winning when I was a kid and I didn't like the Rangers. Okay, next up, we've got the Canucks and the Sharks, and this one's kind of a pick 'em here. I'm showing the Canucks a slight favorite here, maybe $1.10, maybe $1.15. Total 6.5 under 15.
So what did the Canucks do last night? Do you remember? Man, didn't they take it to Vegas? Oh, geez. I don't know how it ended, but I know it was a 5-0 the last I saw. Canucks, though. It was it, yeah. Canucks 6-1 versus the Sharks over the last 3 seasons. They've just decided that they're going to score here. They put up quite a few in the last 4 of 5 games. Sharks 2-8 at home, and losers of the last 2 in pretty bad fashion, giving up 5 goals themselves. I'm going to take the Canucks here today.
All right, Mindy's going to take those Vancouver Canucks on the back-to-back, so it's tough. But these two teams are combined to go 27-15 to the over, and Vancouver's gone 10-3 to the over on the road. San Jose 8-4 to the over at home. But man, I don't think that's the way this game plays out with these two teams. That I might be going against all these trends that I like to follow, but when I see the eye test with these two teams, I feel like this is an under situation tonight. That's where I'm going to go. I'm going under 6.5. I can't, argue the case with any of my trends here in this one. Just the fact that I feel like Vancouver coming off the back-to-back. Sharks have no answer for anybody. We know at this point, Vancouver still not. They both have just 7 wins. Don't forget. I mean, Canucks have not been that great. Necessarily. So
unless they play the Kings, that's about it, I guess.
Yeah, I can't get with you on that on the road on a back-to-back. So I'm going to go under with Vancouver and San Jose. Speaking of the Kings, they're taking on the Senators tonight. and the Kings are a big favorite here, minus $1.50, 6.5 under 15.
Yeah, I feel like I just have to take the Kings. 3-1 versus Senators last 3 seasons. Senators can't even beat any of the bad teams right now. Ottawa 2-6 on the road. LA 6-4 at home. I'll take them.
Yeah, I mean, can't leave the Kings on the puck line. We know that. They can't cover puck lines at all as a favorite. They're 1-8. So Senators maybe actually hang in here, but they're 0-9 as an underdog. 0-9
Yeah.
as an underdog. It's pretty easy. 0-9 as an underdog. They haven't won yet. So maybe tonight will be the night, but I'm not thinking it is. Let's take the Kings. We got a 2-pack in the NHL, Mindy. 2 games anyway. We'll package them up somewhere. Got Arizona on the puck line. We've got the Kings minus $1.50.
Cool.
All right. That's about. I'm gonna roll
Good
through.
card
Hey,
today.
I'm gonna give out some World Cup picks real quick. No analysis, just some picks in the World Cup for the next 4 games on the schedule before tomorrow. How about that, Mindy?
All right, I'm writing them. I got my pen.
They're not going to be premium. So coming up still to come today, Canada and Croatia. I'm going to take Croatia in this one against Canada on the 3-way. I like Croatia to beat Canada today. Also like the over in this one between Croatia and Canada. That total is at 2.25 goals for the most part. I think you can get 2 over 50 or 2.5 over plus 19. 2.25 is the pick'em line. So Croatia and over. The big game today, big game, maybe the biggest of the tournament so far. Germany versus Spain. I've got the draw on this one, Mindy. How can you not?
The draw, huh? All right.
With these 2 classic clubs, Germany is the favorite. Spain, of course, is the favorite in this one, Mindy. But I like the draw. You're going to get about 240 on that, maybe 225 at some of the cheapo shops. But I like the draw here in this one. I like the under. I like exact score line in this one of 1-1, maybe 0-0. You can throw a little bit on, but 1-1 possibly. Germany and Spain. Tomorrow, early game, Cameroon and Serbia. I like Cameroon on the Asian handicap plus 3/4 of a goal. Of course, we know Cameroon, a country with plenty of experience. Serbia, they're a team that had that great World Cup last time out. I've got the over in this one, 2.5 goals. That's Cameroon, Asian handicap plus 3/4 of a goal. Serbia, Cameroon to go over. And finally, South Korea is going to take on Ghana. And I like Ghana in this one on the Asian handicap plus 1/4 goal. And I've got over 2 goals, South Korea and Ghana. All right. Everyone's free to go now if they don't want to watch any ads. But we're going to go over one more time at Tony'sPicks.com because you know what? We maybe had a lot of premium consensus today. But why not? Why wouldn't I follow a red hot handicapper right now, Mindy Hahn, coming off her performance yesterday? 16-9. You've already had a game fall off there. Mindy, doesn't matter. 16-9, absolutely crushed it. Plus morning steam yesterday, 7-4-1. So I don't know. You, me, and the chat coming through with a nice winning day as well. If you ever miss our picks, you can get them right there. If you missed the show and you want to say, who did Ramon and Mindy and the rest of the chat have? I got to get on some plays. Well, we do sell those plays over here. Let me refresh that. We repackage them up and sell them over on Tony'sPicks.com, and you can pick up our plays right there by picking up our packages. You get 3 days worth of it for $99. I know that's a lot, but you really don't forget you're helping us stay on the air, keep doing this show. So not only do you get the consensus plays from the show that you may have missed, you don't have to go back on YouTube and watch it, but you're helping us out a little bit. So I look at it like that, and it seems crazy that anyone would do it, but we do appreciate everyone. People have bought these picks, even though you guys are getting them for free right here. People are willing to purchase them, and we're very thankful to those people. Maybe they've heard what we had to say. Maybe they're just picking it because we get hot, and so they want to roll with it. But maybe there's some of you guys that are saying, you know what, we like Ramon and Mindy, we want them to stay on the air, and if they are, we appreciate you guys for doing that. Really, really do that. So have a great Sunday, Mindy. I don't know if you have anything else about your packages today, but
no, not too much. We
got a lot going. We got a lot, like you said. I'm gonna be in action today.
It's gonna be fun. That's for sure. lots of games, lots of action. Fun day.
All right. We'll be back with everyone tomorrow here on the Morning Steam. We're going to get ready for the big day of NFL. We'll be back on Monday with Monday Night Football and the rest of the games tomorrow as well. But I just want to, before we go, Mindy, I want to thank everybody like I always do. Because I appreciate everyone so much. Matt, Latifa was here. Hamid was here. Blake was here. Scotch was here. I hope I get to everybody. Dave Redling, appreciate him very much. He liked the Roquan Smith prop for sacks and tackles. I assume over. Most people give out props without specifying, usually saying over. Nobody wants an under.
Right.
Under's a way to go in props sometimes, but Drew, appreciate it very much. Lecky, don't appreciate you rooting for Russia in the war. Also, Jose Sierra also was awesome to have. Also awesome to have him every time as well. So, think that is it. Did I say Latifa? Yes. I did. Okay.
Yes.
G Kane.
Can't forget Latifa.
G Kane, C-Man. Thank you, Mindy Hahn. Thank you, everybody. Catch you tomorrow for Mindy Hahn. I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
See ya.